chance to talk to the Belgian Prime Minister early this morning, right after the explosion had happened. And this is just one more example of why the entire world has to unite against these terrorists. The notion that any political agenda would justify the killing of innocent people like this is something that's beyond the pale.
And unfortunately, we have a president who's beyond the pale, sitting there at a baseball game talking about this, number one. Number two, saying that a political agenda is behind this when he knows full well it's radical Islam and it's the interpretation by these terrorists of their religion, not politics. But that's who we have. That's who we're stuck with until January of next year. Joining us now is former Congressman Tom Tancredo. He was a candidate for president of the United States in 2008 and author of In Mortal Danger, The Battle for America's Border and Security. Congressman, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be with you, Mr. Malzberg.
Well, great to have you as always. So what were you thinking when you saw the president sitting there at that baseball game spewing?
Yeah. Just making me furious, of course, when especially when he starts talking again about we will do everything possible to capture the people who are responsible for this. Once again, putting it in terms that presents it as if these were just crooks. You know what I mean? Individuals who broke the law. We should go out and look for them, get the police, arrest them, put them in jail, right? As if that's the issue, as if that's the problem. And of course, it isn't. And all the time he's talking about terrorists refusing to even use the word, of course, again, of Islamic. So, it is so many things were learned, I think, and should have been learned earlier. But if Brussels hasn't taught us anything, it should teach us this. You can't mollify them. The radical Islamists do not care that indeed we are saying things, if Trump says something about restricting Muslim immigration, and then immediately Hillary or somebody will say, well, that's only aiding them. That only encourages them. No, they don't care. How much more placating can you get than the Europeans have been? How much more accommodating can you get to ISIS and radicals than even the Belgians have been? They made it a crime to criticize Islam, and yet they get attacked. Don't you understand, Mr. President? Don't you understand, people on the left, that it doesn't matter what we say? And we better damn well protect ourselves. We better stop that immigration, and we better deport those people who are here, who are threats to our very life.
Right. And again today, Hillary, with the same old. Every solution. Stopping the Syrian refugees, keeping Gitmo open and treating terrorists like terrorists, everything, calling it Islamic terrorism. Every common sense approach to battling this, whether it comes from Cruz, whether it comes from Trump, whether it comes from you or from me, the left will say, Hillary and Obama will say, that's exactly what the terrorists and ISIS want. I mean, You've got to be out of your mind.
Yeah. And they attack Trump for talking about increasing the surveillance inside Islamic enclaves in the United States neighborhoods. And it's, oh my God, the mayor of New York just gets incensed by this. Well, what about the Muslim, many thousands of Muslim cops we have working for us and on the well, hey, does that mean that when you have to have greater surveillance and greater police activity in certain, let's say, black neighborhoods because of the crime rates, that you can't send black
exactly. Congressman, I want you to hear Mayor de Blasio of New York respond to Ted Cruz's plan, as you just so aptly described. Here it is.
I just have to say it's reprehensible. His comments are not about safety and security. It's demagoguery. We have 900 Muslim American officers in the NYPD. We have peace-loving, law-abiding Muslim Americans in neighborhoods all over New York City. They should be respected like all other members of our community. So the question is, if any individual might commit a crime, if any individual might commit an act of terror, we're going to be all over them.
We infiltrated the mafia.
That's right. We sure did. And by the way, we deported a lot of them. I think some of them are probably my relatives. I don't know.
It's a losing, capitulating strategy that leads to death and destruction of us.
It is. It is an escape from reality that is beyond my belief and my ability to understand. It is so weird, so strange. What holds their minds? What has captivated these people to be so?
I don't know. Yeah, look. They're politically correct animals, and they're politically correct animals, and they're putting us at risk. Congressman, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you. Up next, we're going to talk about the future of Israeli-American relations. Don't go away.